Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do this in sections. So I'm gonna first create the jig. Then in the next video, I'll show you how to do the auxiliary view, and in the video after that, I'll show you how to do the section view. Only because of the record limit time I have on this. So let's draw up the jig. If you see me swerve to the sides, because I got the jig open on my laptop, so I can just copy it off. So what I can do is, so obviously if you're not too familiar with some of these commands, so you've got the drawing annotations here. So you got your line, your polyline, which is basically when you start joining up multiple lines, it can just instead of going like one line and line like that, it generally will mark it as just one line. So see how the whole thing's highlighted. So that's polyline. You got your circle, has your multiple different options for the circle. Same for the arc. Then your other shapes, rectangle, polygon, your ellipse, then your hatch, then all these other ones here. But we can run through these with you during the live tutorial. So to make this jig, also too, if you have already made layers, because some TAFE or uni or whoever your educational provider is might have requirements, especially if you're going off the AS 1100, they'll have different types of layers and um, line types, which you center line, and it's pretty important. Hidden lines and etc. So what we'll do now is, because what I'll do is what I will do first is I'll start making some lines. So I can go to layer properties. It's just in the corner here. It's just sort of hidden away. So just see if it'll open up a bit more. Not sure why it's sort of tucked away like that. So what I'll do is I'll create a new layer and I'll name this one outline, and keep it as white, continuous. Usually your line weight it's a little bit thicker than your other ones, like your hidden line, but for now I'm just going to keep it on default. Then I'm also going to make a new one called hidden line, and this one here has a different, instead of being a solid line, it is usually this dash line. So I will go say hidden 01, hidden, sorry. I'll go hidden, press OK. This is OK. So now I'll make a new one. Center. The center line's very similar. It's with the dash line, but it's usually one long dash and a smaller dash, like a chain. So I'll do is select on continuous load, and I will look for center and select OK. Okay. Now I didn't press OK with this one, so press OK. So if that's all done, I can exit out of that. So what I'll do now is I'll start making the shape. So just anywhere on the grid, you can start doing it. So what I would do first is see what the dimensions we got. Obviously I made one earlier, so I'm gonna do another one. What we can do is I like to usually have it on ortho mode, which ensures that it's at a 90-degree angle most of the time. But when we start getting into the slopes, I might change it to might turn it off, but also put on isometric, polar tracking, which will help me with my angles as well. Plus, when I start putting lines, I can also allocate the angle and the dimension. So what I'll do is I'll do polyline, and if I press F8, that also turns on ortho mode. So I'll do the first dimension, which is the base, which is 115 at 0 degrees. Then just select it again. Then I'll do the side, which is 20, and one I can also do the other side, which is 20. This is, by the way, this is not the top. This is I'm doing the front view. So what I'll do now, the front view is essentially we're going to use for the auxiliary view. Then the top view is what we're going to use for the section view. So what I'll do now is I'll turn off ortho mode, and also I'll turn on restrict cursor. This one here will also help me guide to a 30 because we have a 30-degree dimension. So see how it pops up that green? That means it's telling me it's at 30 degrees. Now I have a dimension going up to 66, which is basically where I want to go for my first part. I'll explain why in a minute. So if I go 66, take me at the top there. Okay. Even though that's sort of where I want to be at the moment, but I'll explain more now. So the next one I want to do is, so we've got this one on the other side here too. We've got 20 and 28. So the 20 is going up to that hole, and 28 is going up to this cutout in the center. And it goes down to that 10 mil thick radius, and with the hole going through it. So what we can do here is do 10. What I also might do is I might just make like a construction line. And I might just change this one to like a different color. Okay. Start to make more sense in a sec. What I'll do is I'll go back to polyline and I'll change this to, oh yeah, everything here should be on outline, by the way. Now when I go and change it to, now when I go here, I'll go back to construction, go polyline. Just make sure that's at 30 as well. And what I'll do is I'll go up to 48. Now when I go like that, 60, it'll mean I'll keep it as a perpendicular 90-degree sort of dimension. So, which is basically what it looks like it has here coming down for that radius. Um, so if I go down, say 20. By the way, I can change this polyline in a minute. So it's not a construction, essentially. So if I go back to outline, polyline, back to 60 degrees. It's good. So now we go down. See the green will now indicate your secondary dimension where you want to guide yourself to where to put this center of this hole. So the center of the hole from that angle here is 20 mils down. Like in all fairness, you could have actually just kept it as the green. I didn't have to delete it because this is just basically going to give you your center hole. Then when you do the hole, you can just change it back to outline. So the hole dimension is a 10 mil diameter. So at the moment, this is giving me a radius. So if I go 5, so that should be 10 mil diameter. And then obviously the radius underneath it is 10. So this can be a 10 mil radius. Okay. So what this means now, I can, if you can snap it onto the tangent, which is more than ideal. So you can, obviously I got that going straight. So that should be 90 degrees from here to here. And now we do another line going up here, but you want it to only be 10. Now, why I've got it 66 here is because I'm going to come down like this. 60 degrees like that. Sort of like a random sort of distance. Then I'm going to do another line going across 30 degrees. Then I'm going to come down like that. Now you can start to see the shapes starting to form. Now what I'm going to do is start cleaning the edges up. Getting rid of bits I don't need. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need. Whoop. Should have trimmed that other line. Obviously, there's a solid part going across, so I can just what's happened here? So that's right. Just making sure that this is all. Just making sure this is just all matching up. Lines parallel, that's good. So I just need to make sure this one here is. See how my 10's not touching the center? It's really important that everything is that. Cool. Yeah, so that looks a bit better. Okay, so now I can trim some of this off. Okay, so that's starting to look a bit more like an image. So now that we've got that, we can now start doing some of this the holes and hidden lines. So what we can do now is I'm going to go back. Now, everyone has their own way of doing these geometric sort of drawings. I sometimes use lines, sometimes to get circles to give me the dimension required. So what I'll do is I go up 30 degrees. Make sure it's on 30. So you press tab, go across, press, you can change the dimension. So I go 20, because 20 is the center line. Now I'm going to go center. $60. My center lines, I was not showing it as a center, so don't be too worried about that. You can also just go properties. You can usually just change the distances in here, but I won't go through that just yet. So what you can do is all this stuff I'll fix up after the recording too. So I can go offset. See, you can just type some of the stuff down. So there you go, offset. Then the whole size is 20. So I want to go offset 10. So if I go 10 there, and 10 there. One thing I didn't do was change it back to outline. So I went offset. So now that will give me the hole. Now what it is on this image, it's a hidden line. So instead of going an outline, I should have just gone hidden line. So we can go that one. Hidden. And we can go trim. Trim. So that's your first. So that's your 20mm hole. So I'll just span that one out, so because that's center line. So now we do the other one on this side. So again, we just go hidden. I usually just go polyline, and I'll just go down to 60 degrees like that. Then I'll do another line. Hidden. Hidden. So I might just use a different for the center line. It doesn't like me today. It's okay, I'll just go back to the original one. Can always change it later. Okay. Now, as I was doing on this side here, I should just make sure this is centered. Ten, cool. So, I'll do this one here. Yeah. Then I'll do the hidden detail of the broached hole and the radius that's behind it. Now, that broached hole, the center of that is 90 away. So if I go this, if I go 90, then I can do a center line. Going up. Then I can do offset. Yeah, it says 14, but when you turn it around, it should be 20. So I go 10, offset, offset. Now I'll just change that one to hidden. And what you can do too to make it go quick, you can go match properties. Just go that one to that one. Then I can just go trim, trim, trim. Okay, so what we do now is we'll do a hidden line for the that 45-degree notch. Now it's on here, it's 45 degrees in, and you got 38 going up on the side. 60 take away 38, 22. So because it's 45 degrees, it'll be 22 both sides. So we can just go like that. Okay, I'll just fix this up. 22. Then I can just go outline. Hidden. Excuse me. Looks a bit crooked. That's why I usually have it on F8. Auto mode. Okay. Delete that. And that should be that. Yeah, I need to fix this up. I'll fix this up after I do the video of how it's sort of, it's almost like the scaling is a bit off, because if you try and make it smaller, it joins these edges, which shouldn't be like that for center lines, and it shouldn't be too big either. But yeah, that's the front view, as you can see. Now to do the top view. Usually I should do the top either way. You can do top view or bottom view. So what I'll do now is I'll just do a construction line going up. It's just to because when you do orthogonal drawings, you just need to make sure that it's yeah, as orthogonal, you need to make sure it's directly above, left or right, or below. So the top view. So this one here, you can sort of just use any command. You can use the polyline line, but this time I might use the rectangular command. Okay, outline. Let's do the dimensions of 5 and 60. Now, what I'll do, this one should be fairly straightforward. So, with this, it's pretty good because if you do the top or bottom, you can sort of just do the lines. You can sort of just put lines straight up to give you an indication of where some of these are, make it a bit quicker. So what I'll do is I'll just do a construction line of this point here. And what that's going to give me is the where this edge is. So what I can do now is I can just trim that, and just change that to outline. If you don't want to keep changing it to outline, you can just go outline from the you just go outline from the start instead of using when I'm doing construction. So again, this one here, go up, and this one's got a dimension of 30. So that gives me now a center point. Now, also, you need this one here. So this one here is give me a dimension of 17.32. So that's obviously not correct. So what you need is to probably use the ellipse. Okay. And I'll sort of give you that. Got an angle looking view. Then obviously go up like that. One there. One there. And go again. 10. Then I can just trim off some of this line here. Hidden. 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 Okay, that looks a bit better. So now we can do the three. So we've done that part. So what I might do is I'll just add this 45-degree notch, 38 up. So 135. Trim. Trim. Yeah. We'll also do. Okay, yeah. What I'll do now is I'll do this one. This edge. Up like that. Plus, on top of it has this thick 10mm extra bit. So I can go 10. Let's go. Up like that. Trim. Trim. And I can just delete all these little leftovers. Trim. Trim. And I can go up again. Up. And you obviously got like a little hidden line going up. Go up to there. And you got this hidden line. That hidden line. So that's your hole. That's your hole. Now you can do. This one's actually not hidden. So I can go up. Like that. And just trim. Okay. So this between here should be an outline. So, okay, so what we can do now is a broached. I'll do this 10 mil. Yeah. Go right across. Delete that. And trim that. And yeah, so we did a broach. So, yeah, so the 14 broach. So that one is 90 across. 90. And that one is 30, then 42 up. So 40, 42. So that's 18 down. That's the center. And what I'll do is I'll go to polygon, 4 sides. Let's go in a circle. So, doing inscribe in the circle, you can do, it would be 10. Whoop. Try that again. 4. What? What? 14. Plus a radius, so it needs to be 7. Yep. 7. Rotate. So So that's the top and bottom views. I can always bring that one down a bit closer. So in the next video we'll do auxiliary view, then we can do section view. Thank you. Okay, so do an auxiliary view. So auxiliary view is just basically it sort of looks like an isometric, but it keeps everything as 2D. So for example, everything has to be perpendicular as well. So in particular in this case, they just want looks like they just want this this bit here as an auxiliary view. So it's basically just showing this whole as 2D. So instead of see how it's on this top one here, it's sort of like sticking out because that's how it is on an angle. But on auxiliary, it will basically just rotate it so that face there is flat. But it just keeps everything as the same dimension. So what I'll do is I'll just keep it as 30 degrees. So I go up like that, up like that. I'll just go outline. Whoop. Right. Go across like that. Um, so that'll give me the side. Now what I need to do is get so this here was 60. So we're going to go 60. And that needs to be parallel to each other. Now, if you're having trouble with that type of thing where you can't get it parallel or collinear or tangent, you can always just use your parametrics. So go parallel. So now that's parallel to each other. Just as long as this dimension didn't change. Which it did. Or even better, I'll just go offset. And what did I say it was? 60. So I go offset. 60. Then I can just go like then obviously you got the hole. Again, I can just use the construction. 125. Whoop. 30 degrees, and this be 120. Let's see what this center line is. 60, cool. Just make sure it's all the same angle. And obviously you need it to be 30 mils up. And it was a 20. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. So the center of this hole is actually 20 mils up. So I have got that one wrong. 20. Oh no, that's right. So yeah, that's 38, 20, yeah. So your auxiliary view basically looks something like that. If you want to add the other stuff into it, you can. It's just basically has to look like it's looking flat at you, regardless of the angle. And because it's doing a partial, it's just wanting one bit of it. If it wanted the rest of it too, you can include that as well. But it just has to look flat. And like the one I sent you earlier, um, the whole thing was laid out as flat. You could see where other parts of it that were on an angle that were initially because the one the screenshot I sent earlier was of this face here. So everything that was vertical will look like it's on an angle because it's sort of turned around. Whereas if I did like a auxiliary view of just this flat bit here, the rest of it will look exactly the same. But yeah, that's just that section. Okay, so the next video we're going to do section view. I'll touch up on more about this on our face-to-face. So I'll also send you this just so you get an idea. So yeah. Okay, so with this video now, we're going to do a section view. So section view is basically just cutting it in half. Okay, so what we do is I'll just I'm not too sure how they want the layout of this, so I'll just move this to the side. So it gives me a bit of room to show you how to do a section view. So section view, you sort of got to make up a whole new layer. Section. See this one here for the section view. Anyway, this section view is just basically a chain. If we can find something. If you got the AS 1100, it will have all the or even that technical drawing book. It will have all the line types, sizes, and that I can reiterate on them. But at the moment, I'm just sort of just arbitrarily just picking what it looks correct. So what I'll do is I'll just pick something like this for now because it looks around about right. So this is appearance is like a straight line. That's what I don't want. So yeah. So it needs to be something like that. So it wants it in the center of this whole center line. Okay, and basically you need this view here come directly underneath it. Instead of making a new one, we just use the same view as we used before. So I'll go construction line, go down. And I will just. The only thing I can think of is unless if you do a section view, then you have to do an auxiliary view of that section view, which is pretty easy because you just put a line in the middle of that and just hatch. And just hatch it. So we'll do is just copy this, move it. Let's go copy. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to start deleting some of this stuff inside. keep this, change the line type of this. So if I go MA, just use the same as what's on the border. Now what we need to do now with section view, the hatching inside needs to be a 45-degree line. So if you go hatch, it's gone green. So let's see this construction. So if I go outline, and go hatch, what I might do is actually get rid of this. Go to properties. Oh, let's go angle. 45. So it already was on 45. Again, there's another one over here. Hatch again. That's basically your section view. It's like what you would have seen before when I sent you. Then when you do section views, you're just going to make sure that you have the view name on it. So this could be A to section view A. Then this has to be view A to A. Then the one I had earlier had the scale next to it. So to recap, auxiliary view is just you just pick a random face on your model, then just imagine that face being turned around but flat. So like I said, if that's going to be facing you flat, then the rest of it's going to be either that bit there would be on an angle, but that there would be flat as well. So if you need to include that one there too, you can. But yeah, you just turn it around and see. Just imagine just sitting flat at you. If you look at the other one I sent earlier, it's a pretty good indication of what it should look like. So if you just want to copy that, you can. The same with the section view. Just copy that if you want. I'll save this and I will send it to you. Hopefully the videos were informal enough. I know sort of concentrating moments and wasn't talking as much, but there should be a bit of information here for you. But obviously when you see it in person, you ask questions, it's a lot easier.